Hi, good evening everyone. Welcome to Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. This is Shefali Singla. And in today's session, we will be talking about the drawbacks of linear queue. So we'll introduce the concept of circular queue and we'll also look at the implementation of circular queue. Before starting with the session, let's talk about what this Envision batch is and what is the goal of this batch that we had started in the month of October. So this Envision batch is basically an English batch course in which we are covering 7 subjects. We are having 7 sessions of 1 hour each duration. So the duration of this batch is 7 hours, and in which we are covering the concepts of general aptitude, discrete mathematics, computer networks, data structures and programming, compiler design, operating systems and algorithms. This batch is basically targeting on GATE 2021, that is the upcoming GATE. And as you can see that I have started with the concepts of data structures and programming. Already we have covered the concepts of programming and we had previous year question sessions in which I have covered each and every question which was asked in year 2014 to 2020. Remaining questions will be covered in the upcoming sessions. If you want the solutions at like earlier, then in that case you can refer to the special classes. You'll get a lot many questions, but yeah, definitely all the solutions are not there that I'll be providing in this batch. So if you want to follow the daily sessions, live sessions, so join the session at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. This subject is very important from GATE and placements point of view. This subject, data structures and programming, is having a good weightage in the GATE paper. And to follow daily sessions, subscribe our channel, that's Let's Crack GATE CSE. And in case you want to cover the 100% syllabus, then definitely you need to get the subscription. And if you want to attend the free special classes and free quizzes, then download this app, that is Unacademy Learning app. Basically, this app is for the learners because we do have one more app that is for the educators that won't help you out much. So this app is available on both the Play Store and the Apple Store. So by downloading this app, you will be able to access unlimited interactive live sessions. You will be able to attempt quizzes, tests, mock tests, and so on. And in case if you want to cover the 100% syllabus, then you need to get the subscription. We have 2 types of subscription plans: Plus subscription and the Iconic. So Plus is our basic plan to get started with, and Iconic is the plan with which you can take your preparation level to the next level with the help of personal coach. So first of all, I'll talk about the benefits of the Plus course. So whatever benefits are there in the Plus subscription, those benefits are there in the Iconic. In addition to that benefits, you will be having some additional benefits in the Iconic, which will help you to improve your GATE score. So Plus का बच्चे basic benefit क्या है? You will be able to access unlimited interactive live classes which are taken by India's best educators. Interactive live classes का मतलब क्या? During the sessions you can interact with the educators, and by any chance if you have missed the live session, in that case you have the opportunity to ask your doubts during the doubt solving sessions or the practice sessions. So every 4th session will be a doubt solving session. This will be the structure of the course. So in the session 1, 2 and 3 you will be learning the new concept. In the session 4 you will be having a doubt solving session, and the practice session 5, 6, 7 again same thing keeps on going. Apart from that, structured courses and PDFs will be provided to you, and this includes live tests and quizzes. बच्चे practice is the main key to get the success, तो जिसमें live test और quizzes बहुत important role play करते हैं. Hi, very good evening Shalini, good evening Lavjeet. And these are the benefits of Plus. If I talk about the Iconic, along with these benefits, you will be getting a guidance from the personal coach with the help of which you'll get to know that in which direction you need to put in the efforts. And personalized test analysis will be provided. Study planner will be provided to you. And the most important is preparatory study material is also included in the Iconic subscription. So this means that you need not to waste your time on preparing the study material or in exploring the stuff. You will be provided with the daily practice problems, preparatory study material, theoretical notes, each and everything will be provided to you. The only thing that is required from your side is practice. So these are the differences between Plus and Iconic. If we talk about the subscription plans, so under Iconic we have 1 year subscription and 2 year subscription plan. 1 year Iconic subscription is for 50,250 and 2 year Iconic subscription is for 74,000. But if you are going to apply this referral code, this is my referral code Shefali. By applying this referral code, you will be getting instant 10% discount. This means that for 1 year Iconic subscription, you just need to pay 45,225, and for 2 year subscription, you just need to pay 66,600. So what is the benefit of paying extra here? This is a 2 year subscription plan is beneficial for the students, those who are starting their preparation at the early stage. What do I mean by early stage? While you are in the first year of BTech or second year or third year, in that case 2 year plan is beneficial for the students. And if you are in the fourth year of BTech or you are pass out, in that case I'll recommend that go for 1 year subscription. Now question arises is कि if 1 year is sufficient for GATE preparation, then why to go for 2 year subscription? If you look at here, तो बच्चे यहाँ पे ड्यूरेशन डबल हो रही है, राइट? 12 months की जगह 24 months मिल रहे हैं, बट अगर आप प्राइस को डबल करो इट विल बी मोर देन 90,000. But here, by just paying approximately 21,000 something extra, you will be getting the subscription for double the duration. Benefits इसके बहुत ज़्यादा हैं. पहली चीज़, जो भी subjects हम GATE में cover कर रहे हैं, those are the core technical subjects which you are going to study in your BTech. BTech के कौन से semesters में पढ़ाए जाते हैं? Those are the subjects included in the curriculum of second year and third year, that is third, fourth, fifth and sixth semester. So if you have thoroughly prepared for those subjects, this means that without going for subject wise coaching or putting in extra efforts, you will be able to score well in the semester exams. आपका time waste नहीं होगा. Fourth year में normally students को problem क्या आती है? They had to cope up with the final year project. Also they had to dedicate time for the GATE preparation. So better idea is start your preparation at the early stage. And as you know that third year students can also write the GATE paper. So give your 100% to score well in the GATE paper. By any chance if you are not satisfied with your GATE score, तो बच्चा आपके पास एक backup plan रहेगा, that is fourth year. Anyhow BTech तो complete करनी है. Fourth year में again you can write the GATE paper. Third year में आपने February में exam लिखा, fourth year में फिर से February में लिखने, you will be getting a time period of 1 year. So 1 year में you can do a practice. आपको अपने weak area समझ में आ जाएंगे, आपको अपनी silly mistakes समझ में आ जाएंगी, जो भी आपकी mistakes हुई है you will get to know that and you can work on that. For that you will be getting an year's time. So this means that easily you can improve your GATE score without dropping an year, without putting in extra efforts. That is another benefit. Also you can include your GATE score in your resume so that it gives you a benefit in the placements. Resume shortlist होने के बाद you need to go through the mandatory rounds, that is the written round in which you will be facing the multiple choice questions from technical and non-technical portion. You need to go through the interview round, and there are few MNCs, those are conducting their coding round as well. So if we talk about the coding, this means that we should have a good knowledge of practical subjects or the subjects which are practically used, for example data structures and programming. सबसे पहले data structures और programming आते हैं. Then algorithms. Then you should have a good knowledge of query language like SQL and basic concepts of DBMS. So these are important from coding point of view. And written में बच्चे ये सारे subjects तो आएंगे ही आएंगे. Along with this, written में you may face multiple choice questions from operating systems, computer networks, and definitely the non-technical portion, that is aptitude. So these all topics, all subjects are covered during the GATE preparation. So this means that if you have prepared for GATE, you will get benefit in the semester exams. GATE score improve होगा अगर आप early stage पे preparation start करते हो. This will help you in the placements. And other one is if you are targeting on PSUs, you want to write the paper of ISRO or DRDO. So in that case also you will get the benefit. And the students, those who are targeting on UGC NET, these sessions are useful for them as well. So these are the additional benefits, and for this you just need to pay approximately 21,000 rupees extra, right? So this is about Iconic subscription plans. If we talk about the Plus subscription plans, in the Plus we have so many subscription plans like 1 month. For 1 month, after applying the referral code, you need to pay 4,950. For 3 months subscription, you need to pay 12,375. For 6 months, this comes out to be 22,275. For 12 months, it's 27,225. For 18 months, it's 34,650. And for 24 months, you just need to pay 39,600 instead of paying 44,000. So if you look at the difference of the price, 1 year or 2 year में कितना difference है? Hardly there is a difference of approximately 9,000. Yes, our duration 9,000 में बचे, duration is getting double, and you can look at the differences. So this is about the Plus subscription. Already I have completed a complete course on algorithms on the Plus. So if you have the Plus subscription, you can follow those sessions. अगर नहीं है Plus subscription, just follow those sessions to get the confidence and to cover the whole syllabus. Get the subscription according to your convenience. You can you can opt for any subscription plan. And if you want to join the crash course, then in that case you can go for 3 months or 6 months subscription. If you have already prepared the subjects but there are doubts in some of the topics, in that case you can join our crash course. Okay, so this is about Plus subscription plans. Hope this is clear to everyone. So shall we start with the session? Any doubt till this point? Just give me a confirmation. Very good evening, Shalini. Good evening, Lavjeet. Good evening, Bhaskar, Anushka. Very good evening to all of you. So let's crack it. I got the confirmation that till this point there is no doubt. So yesterday we had started with the concept of Q, and we have discussed the basic operations that can be performed on Q, and we have also looked at the implementation of Q. So any doubt in the implementation of the basic operations of Q? In yesterday's session, we had discussed the code for NQ and DQ. NQ means to insert an element in the queue. It inserts an element in the queue. And DQ deletes an element from the queue. Delete an element from the queue. And we know that in order to implement these operations, we need to use two variables. One is known as front and other is known as rear. These are the two variables that are required to implement the queue data structure. So any doubt in the operations of NQ and DQ? DQ में हमने with constant time complexity we had discussed that case. But if you practically look at the working of the queue, then we had, according to that, we had written one modified operation, one modified code for DQ. But in that case, the complexity is not constant time, but from gate point of view, we have to consider at the first one, which returns the constant time complexity. Yes? Apart from that, what is other operation, basic operation that can be performed on a queue? That is to display the elements of a queue. So this means that, let's understand the concept first, then we'll look at the implementation. This means that there is some queue. If queue is empty, फटाफट से revise करते हैं. If queue is empty, then front and rear both will be pointing to -1. Both will be containing the value -1. If first element is inserted, then it will increment the value of both front and rear. Because एक आपके पास non-negative है and other one is negative, that is not allowed. That is a case of contradiction. So both will be incremented. So A is inserted here. Front is pointing here. To insert next element, we need to increment the value of rear. B will be inserted here. Next, I want to insert one more element, then C is inserted here. Rear is pointing to here. Now I had deleted one element. One element is deleted, so front will be pointing to 1, right? Now in the queue, we have, now front is pointing to this position and rear is pointing to this position. This is the current scenario. Now I am making a call to the display operation, to the display function. So display function will return what? What is the expected output of display operation? This is the current scenario. So display function will display the elements of the queue which are present at the टाइम ऑफ फंक्शन कॉलिंग। तो कितने एलिमेंट्स प्रेजेंट है? बी एंड सी, टू एलिमेंट्स आर प्रेजेंट, सो द आउटपुट, एक्सपेक्टेड आउटपुट इज बी एंड सी. It should print B and C. So what should I do here? Every time it needs to print, it needs to display the element of the queue which is present at the current scenario, at the present time, right? अगर हर बार आपको एक ही चीज परफॉर्म करवानी है, सेम स्टेटमेंट्स यू नीड टू एग्जीक्यूट, इन दैट केस वी आर गोइंग फॉर द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ आइट्रेशन, दैट इज विल यूज द लूप. तो लूप कहां से शुरू होगी? फॉर वी नीड टू प्रिंट द वैल्यू. What value which will be returned by q. I'm not writing here the excess specifier, proper format I'm not writing here. Let's assume that it needs to print the value of q of I. I की वैल्यू को अपडेट करवाना है. I will start from where? I will start printing the elements from front. Up till rear. Very good. So it starts from front and it goes till rear. I is equal to rear. That is it. So this is how display operation can be performed. So this is the code. So we are passing the queue जिसके elements को print करवाना है. Size of the queue, front and rear. If front is equal to rear is equal to -1. If both are -1, अगर एक कंडीशन लिखते हो front is equal to -1, तो by default rear is also -1. This is a case of empty queue. So it will print that queue is empty and it will exit from the function. जब कोई element ही नहीं है, then obviously बात है कि it won't be displaying anything on the screen. Otherwise, this means that queue is not empty. Queue is not empty. So simply we have used one loop. So queue elements, some messages printed. मैम लेस देन रियर होगा, लेस देन इक्वल टू रियर नहीं होगा. It will be less than equal to rear. Let's see here. Let's assume that this is the scenario B, C, D and E. Front is pointing here and rear is pointing to this one. Okay, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I is starting from front. Front is containing what value? Front is equal to 1 and rear is equal to 4. So front is equal to, I is equal to front, that is 1. It will be printing Q of 1. Q of 1 is what? That is B. So it will be printing B. Rear is equal to size -1. That is the condition to check if the Q is full or not. But when you are displaying the elements, तो Q full है या नहीं है उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, राइट? जितने भी एलिमेंट्स है, हो सकता है कि Q empty हो जिसके एलिमेंट्स आप डिस्प्ले करवाना चाह रहे हो सकता है Q में एक ही एलिमेंट हो सकता है there can be 2 elements, 3 elements and so on. So front Q of 1 की वैल्यू प्रिंट होगी, then it is incrementing the value of I. So I becomes 2. I started from 1 and I goes till to I is incremented to 2. Q of 2 will be printed. 2 is less than equal to rear. Rear is what? That is 4. Although here the size of an array is 6. But how many elements are present at this point of time? Only 4 elements are present. Ma'am, rear will be updated after insert. Yes. But here we are not inserting or deleting the element. Simply, जो भी elements present है, we are just displaying those elements. So it is neither going to update the value of the front variable nor the value of the rear variable. Front कब vary करता है? Front की value कब update करते हो? When you are going to delete an element. Rear कब update करते हो? When you are inserting an element. In this case, display का मतलब क्या है? Just to show the elements, whatever elements are present in the queue. Right? तो यहाँ पे हम कोई element insert या delete कर रहे? No. So anyhow, we are not going to update the value of front or rear. सिर्फ इनको scan करना है. So we have taken the help of one more variable, that is variable I. Now I becomes 2. Q of 2 पे whatever value is there, it is going to print that value. The value of I gets incremented. I started from 1, then it was incremented to 2, then I is incremented to 3. बच्चे मैं I की value increment कर रही हूँ. I am not updating the value of front and rear. Now Q3, 3 is less than equal to 4. Yes, condition is true. Then it will be printing the value whatever is present at the index 3, that is D. After that, increment the value of I becomes 4. Q of 4 पे what value is available, that is E. So equal to 4, अगर आप, what is this? This is rear. अगर equal नहीं लोगे, then it will not be printing the value of the last element of the Q. So definitely equal must be included here. Is this clear? भास्कर ये लेस देन इक्वल ही होगा. अगर बच्चे यहाँ पे मैं I इज लेस देन रियर कर दूंगी, रियर इज 4, so 4 is less than 4, condition is false, it won't be printing the value of E. It won't be printing E. Clear? After that I is incremented. 5 is less than equal to 4, no, condition is false, so it will stop here. So it has displayed all the elements of the Q which are present in the Q. Ma'am, after inserting rear will be updated, so rear will be pointing to the next element. See, whenever rear is pointing, rear is containing the position of the newly inserted element. इसका मतलब ये है कि जो recent element insert हुआ है, that is inserted at what position. So in that scenario, whenever you are inserting an element, first of all, you need to update the value of rear and then you can insert the element. Yes? Just, I guess some confusion is there. See, if this is the scenario, front is equal to -1, rear is equal to -1. So first of all, you will be using this value, or first of all, you will be updating this value. Obviously, first of all, we need to update the value of rear. First of all, update, for step 1 is to update the value of rear and then insert the element. Yes? Ma'am, first tell me what to do. Market course that are job oriented or gate oriented. Jaspreet, I'll definitely handle your query, but let's finish the topic agenda for the day. So I hope now everybody is clear with this concept. So this means that first of all, we are updating the value of rear and then we are inserting the element. Correct? Great. So Bhaskar का doubt clear हो गया and Anushka's doubt is clear. So guys, जरूरी नहीं है कि here it will be pointing to size -1, rear is pointing to 4, but the size is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. अगर 6 minus 1 5 पे represent करेगा, this means that it is full. सर मुझे बुरा लग रहा है. बुरा क्यों लग रहा है? See, this is not a career guidance program. First of all, definitely we have to give the preference for to the agenda for the day. Definitely, I'll clear your doubt, but let me handle this topic first. So tell me, is this clear? So this is about the basic operations that can be performed on a linear queue. So we have performed the operations. Now let's look at the drawback. Let's see it's the correct implementation for linear queue or it's the correct implementation for queue or not. Now let us consider some different cases. If we know that whenever we are inserting an element in the queue, first of all we need to check if Q is full or not. Q full कैसे check करते? If it is full or not, if this is a Q, let's assume that the size of Q is 5. Index by default starts from 0. Front is equal to -1, rear is equal to -1. If rear is equal to size -1, front is equal to, if rear is equal to size -1, yes. So if rear is equal to, we had written that if rear is equal to size -1, then we are saying that Q is full, right? This is what we had covered. Then it is printing that Q is full and it will exit from the function. It won't insert an element. Yes? Else insert the element. I'm not writing the steps again. For empty के लिए we will look at front is equal to rear. This means that it is empty? No. If front is equal to rear, this means that only one element is present. Empty कब होगा? When both are -1. Both are pointing to -1. No, negative value. This is the condition for empty Q. Let's assume that first of all we had inserted A in the Q. Insert or NQ A. Then we had inserted B, then we had inserted C, then we had inserted D, then we had inserted E, and then we had C, D, E. These are inserted. Then we had deleted, then we made a call to DQ function. DQ will delete what? If this is the scenario, front and rear, right? But if it is deleted, okay, now how many elements are present in the queue? कितने elements present है queue में? Only 4 elements are there, and I want to insert. Now according to this scenario, front is what? Front is pointing to 1 since this element is deleted. So front is pointing to 1, next element to be deleted, and rear is pointing to the recent element that was inserted, that is equal to 4. Correct? अब इस केस में बच्चे चेक करो. Front is equal to 1 and rear is equal to 4. 4 elements are present in the queue and I am making a call to NQ function. I want to insert an element F in the queue. So it will go to the NQ operation. Value of the element is F. If rear is equal to n minus 1. तो यहाँ पे क्या करेगा? Will it insert the element or it will be generating an error message? Rear is pointing to 4. N is size of a queue is 5. N minus 1 is 4. Rear is equal to 4. So it will directly print an error message saying that queue is full and it will not insert the element. Very good evening, Nishu. Correct? So it will say that queue is full. क्या ये queue full है? Is this queue full? This queue is not full. Queue full कब होगा? जब उसमें 5 elements होंगे क्योंकि queue का size 5 है, but यहाँ पे elements तो 4 है. So this means that this is not the correct implementation of queue. Though we have one empty slot, let's assume that B is also deleted, F is pointing to here, then also it will be generating an error message. 2 empty slots are available, but still rear is pointing to E and it is saying that queue is full. Though the queue is not full, so this is not the correct implementation. Make sense? Yes? So in order to overcome this drawback, we are going for the concept of circular queue. मैम एग्जाम में कंडीशन देख के हम कैसे बताएंगे कि सर्कुलर क्यू है या लीनियर क्यू है? सी इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द लीनियर क्यू, जो भी हमने अब तक डिस्कस किया दैट इज लीनियर क्यू. If we look at the condition of linear queue, front is, अगर first element insert हुए, front can be equal to rear. या फिर क्या होगा? Front will always be behind the rear. So if front is always less than or equal to rear, then we can say that the queue is a linear queue. But if it is a circular, circle का मतलब क्या होता है? What do you mean by circular queue? To form a cycle, right? Circular means cycle. So after going to the last position, again it will come back to the first position. Then we'll say that this is a circular queue. अगर rear last position पे पहुंच गया, then it will insert the element at the next position. सो रियर की वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगी, 4 के बाद कहां पे जाएगा, 0 1 2 3 4 and after 4 again it will go to 0 cycle, right? So next element, that is F, will be inserted here if it is a circular queue. Front was pointing to 2. Front was pointing to 2. We had C, D and E. Rear was pointing to 4, 3, 4. This was 0 and 1. So it will increment the value of rear. Rear की value को update करेगा. Instead of performing rear plus plus, normally what we were doing just the rear plus plus and then we were inserting the element at Q of R is equal to X. अब हमें एक और एक्स्ट्रा केस ऐड करना पड़ेगा, एक और कंडीशन ऐड करनी पड़ेगी. इफ रियर इज इक्वल टू n-1, that is pointing to the last index, तो rear plus plus won't work here क्योंकि plus plus क्या return करेगा, 5. 5 is not the valid position. So in that case it will make the value of rear is equal to 0. So rear is pointing here. So rear is pointing here. This means that this is the empty slot, so it will insert the element F here. Element is inserted. Yes, modulo यूज करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि modulo के साथ जब भी आप mod यूज करते हो, it is going to form a cycle. Correct? So in this case, now rear is pointing to this position. Now I want to insert G. G कहाँ पे insert होगा? Obviously, rear is equal to n-1? नहीं. तो increment the value of rear. Rear is pointing to here. So G will be pointing, will be stored here. So now what is the scenario? In this case, linear queue के केस में हमेशा क्या था? Front हमेशा या तो rear से पीछे रहेगा या equal हो सकता है. But in this case, if it's a case of circular queue, जो भी linear queue में conditions है वो तो आएंगी ही आएंगी. Along with that, if rear at any position, if rear is less than F, this is possible only in case of circular queue. Make sense? बच्चे ये कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हुआ? अब हम डिफरेंट केसेस लिखेंगे. कॉन्सेप्ट, स्ट्रक्चर एंड क्यू ऑपरेशन का वही रहेगा. जब भी आपको एलिमेंट इंसर्ट करना है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी नीड टू चेक इफ द क्यू इज फुल और नॉट. इस केस में आप क्यू फुल कब बोलोगे? यहां पे तो आपने बोला था इफ रियर इज इक्वल टू n-1 देन द क्यू इज फुल. सो व्हाट विल बी द फुल कंडीशन हियर? Condition for full. What will be the full condition? Full condition क्या होगी? If rear is here, front is here, this means that Q is full. Yes, this is one scenario. Correct? So this means that if rear is equal to, रियर की वैल्यू क्या है? रियर इज 1, फ्रंट इज 2. हो सकता है कि फ्रंट यहां पे हो, रियर यहां पे हो. दैट कैन बी द केस. सो इफ रियर इज इक्वल टू फ्रंट -1, और जरूरी नहीं है कि सिर्फ यही कंडीशन होगी, और कंडीशन क्या हो सकती है? हो सकता है कि आपके पास अभी तक कोई भी एलिमेंट इंसर्ट डिलीट नहीं हुआ है. फ्रंट इज पॉइंटिंग टू 0 एंड रियर इज पॉइंटिंग टू n-1. दिस इज 0 and this is n-1. Correct? So in this case, this is also a scenario of full. A, B, C, D and E. इसके अलावा आपके पास कोई और कंडीशन भी हो सकती है for the full condition. What is that condition? If rear is equal to n-1, this is one condition. Or rear is equal to n-1. अब यहां पे केस क्या आएगा? और एंड. इट विल बी एंड फ्रंट इज इक्वल टू 0. इफ फ्रंट इज इक्वल टू 0 एंड रियर इज इक्वल टू n-1, दिस मीन्स दैट क्यू इज फुल. या फिर सिंस दिस इज अ केस ऑफ सर्कुलर क्यू, सो हो सकता है कि आपके पास रियर इज 1 लेस देन द फ्रंट वेरिएबल. क्लियर? दोनों में से कोई भी एक कंडीशन ट्रू है, देन वी कैन से दैट क्यू इज फुल, अदरवाइज यू कैन इंसर्ट द एलिमेंट. इंसर्शन के लिए क्या करना है? ऑब्वियसली फर्स्ट केस क्या रहेगा? इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू इंसर्ट द फर्स्ट एलिमेंट इंसर्ट कर रहे हो, फ्रंट की वैल्यू -1 है, रियर की वैल्यू -1 है, दिस मीन्स दैट यू आर trying to insert an element in the empty queue. So in that case, you need to update the value of both front and rear. This case we had discussed in the linear queue as well. If else, rear is pointing to n-1, rear is pointing to n-1, तो इसका मतलब क्या है? This rear should point to 0. Rear should point to 0. करेक्ट? एल्स थर्ड केस क्या होगा? ना तो एम्प्टी क्यू में आप एलिमेंट इंसर्ट कर रहे हो, ना ही रियर लास्ट इंडेक्स पे पॉइंट कर रहे हैं. दिस मीन्स दैट इट इज समवेयर हियर. इन दैट केस सिंपली अपडेट द रियर वैल्यू बाय इंक्रीमेंटिंग द वैल्यू बाय 1. So these are the three cases. Already we had covered these two cases in the linear queue. This is the additional case which is there in the circular queue. Is this clear? Structure, format, everything is clear. Then we'll look at the implementation. बच्चे कहीं पे कोई डाउट है अंडरस्टैंडिंग में? लेट मी नो. Hurry up. Give me a confirmation. So let's look at the implementation. What we have said, we want to insert an element in the queue. तो मैंने NQ की जगह इसको CNQ कर दिया. That is circular NQ. This is a case of circular. In the circular queue, we want to insert an element. Ma'am, more examples on the same concept. Yeah, sure. Let's understand this. First of all, let's assume that Q is having a size of 5. Index starts from 0. So initially front is equal to -1, rear is equal to -1. If this is the case, is this Q empty? Yes, Q is empty because both are pointing to -1. So if I want to insert an element in the Q, size is what? 5. तो condition क्या check करने के लिए? Front is equal to rear is equal to front -1. बट यहाँ पे तो दोनों इक्वल है. तो यहाँ पे एनी हाउ नन ऑफ द कंडीशन इज मैचिंग. दिस मीन्स दैट वी कैन इंसर्ट द एलिमेंट. अब जब आप यहाँ पे एलिमेंट को इंसर्ट करोगे, लेट्स अज्यूम दैट आई वांट टू NQ. आई एम मेकिंग अ कॉल टू NQ QA. So before inserting an element, first of all we need to update the value of rear. So rear will be updated rear ++0. Rear is pointing here. फ्रंट को आप यहीं पे छोड़ सकते हो, नहीं छोड़ सकते, ये हमने रीजन कल डिस्कस किया है. बिकॉज दिस इज अ केस ऑफ कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन. सो फ्रंट विल ऑल्सो बी पॉइंटिंग टू दिस एंड देन एलिमेंट A is inserted here. Correct? Now, so this is what case? If front is equal to rear is equal to -1, then in that case update both the front and the rear. Both will be updated to 0. Now I want to insert one more element in the queue, that is B. Now what will happen? Should I update the value of front variable as well? No, just update the rear. It's just the concept of linear queue. Rear is pointing to 1. First of all, rear is updated. Now queue of 1 पे next element will be inserted, that is 5, B. Correct? Now I want to insert one more element, C. C is inserted, increment the value of rear and C is inserted here. So every time if rear is equal to n-1, rear is pointing to 2, I want to insert one more element. So it will look at the condition. This is not the condition for full condition के साथ match नहीं कर रहे. Rear is equal to -1 है, rear -1 भी नहीं है, ये वाला केस भी नहीं है. Rear is equal to n-1 है, n-1 is what? 4. Rear is equal to 4. No, that is not the case. So in that case, it will simply increment the value of rear. So rear is incremented and then Q of R pe it is inserting the element. What element is to be inserted? That is D. So this is rear. Now I want to insert one more element. Again check for the conditions. Q is full. It is not matching with the full condition. Rear is equal to n minus 1. Agar first condition false ho gayi hai, then you need not to check the other one. Rear is equal to f minus 1. That is not the case because front is pointing to 0. 0 minus 1 and rear is what? Rear is 3. Is this the condition true? No, condition is false. So you can insert the element. कौन सा केस सेटिस्फाई कर रहा है? रियर इज इक्वल टू -1. नो. देन इट विल चेक फॉर रियर इज इक्वल टू n-1. n-1 है? नो. So it will increment the value of rear and insert the element. Now rear is pointing to n-1. I want to insert one more element, that is f. अब इस केस में क्या होगा? First of all, it will check for the condition. Rear is equal to n-1. Rear is equal to 5 minus 1. Yes, condition is true. Front is equal to 0. Yes, front is equal to 0. If the first case is true and we have logical operator or, then in that case you need not to check for the second condition. It is returning true. This means that the overall answer is true. So if it is true, it is saying that Q is full. Obviously देख के आपको पता चल रहा है Q is full. That is about the first condition. Right? Now let's assume that before inserting an element f, I am deleting one element. I am deleting one element from the queue. तो कौन सा element delete होगा? Which is whose position is stored in the variable f, front variable. So 0 पे जो element है that will get deleted. So one empty position is there. Since this is a circular queue, it will check for the condition. If the queue is DQ, one element is deleted. Again, I am making a call to DQ. So B is deleted, or let's assume that only one element is deleted. That is sufficient to understand this. So A is deleted. So it is returning A. Now I want to insert one element, that is F. Since this is a case of circular queue, तो अगर rear is already pointing to n-1, तो next element कहाँ पे जाएगा? 4 के बाद it will go to the position 0 if space is available. So before updating the value of rear, you need to check if the queue is full or not. Check करो condition के लिए. Rear is equal to n-1. Yes, rear is pointing to n-1. Rear is pointing to n-1 and front is equal to 0. नहीं, front 0 नहीं है. Next element कौन सा delete होगा? 0 वाला तो element already delete हो चुका है. Front is equal to 1. So this condition is false. Rear is equal to f minus 1. Rear is what? In this scenario, rear is 4 and front is what? Front is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Is this true? No, second condition is also false. This means that Q is not full. Right? So in that case, it will go to insert an element. If rear is equal to -1, rear is equal to -1 नहीं है. Rear क्या है? Rear is pointing to n-1, that is 4. 4 के बाद rear की वैल्यू कहाँ पे आएगी? Obviously to 0. Yes? Now is this clear? So rear is equal to 0. Rear की वैल्यू अपडेट होगी. If के कंट्रोल में सिर्फ एक ही स्टेटमेंट है. What is the common statement? Else में भी बच्चे यहाँ पे ब्लॉक नहीं है. So under the control of else only one statement is there. This is the common statement. In all the three cases, this is case 1, this is case 2, this is case 3. In all the three cases, you are just updating the value of the rear variable and then whatever is the updated value of rear variable, you are inserting an element. So here the next element f will be inserted. Rear is updated to 0. Now is this clear? Is this full? Now let's assume that I want to insert one more element, NQ. G I want to insert. First of all, it will look at the condition. Condition क्या है? Rear is equal to n-1. Rear is equal to n-1. No, rear is pointing to 0 and front is pointing to 1. So rear is equal to n minus 1. This condition is false. If this condition is false, so overall the first condition is false. Rear is equal to f minus 1. What is rear? Rear value is 0. Front की value क्या है? Front value is 1. 1 minus 1. Is this equal to rear? Yes, this is equal to rear. So this means that Q is full. You can observe here, last element is inserted here, then B, C, D, E, F. So this Q is full. So this is about circular NQ. If you compare it with the code or the implementation of linear Q, structure is same. Here we are writing the case to handle is to check is the Q is full or not. Is the Q full or not? Is full, we have checked here. If it is not full, then you need to make three cases whether you are inserting the element, that is the first element of the Q, or you are inserting the element when rear has already reached to the last position, or it's the normal case. So in the previous case, we had just followed 1 and 3. This is the new case which is inserted in circular Q, jahan pe it is pointing to the front position. So is this clear to everyone? So I guess all the cases are covered. In the similar manner, we have to delete the elements. Deletion के केस में भी क्या होगा? Concept remains the same as that of linear Q. और deletion के केस में when front has reached to the last position, front वापस कहाँ पे जाएगा? जैसे जिस तरीके से बच्चे आप एलिमेंट्स इंसर्ट करवा रहे हो, सेम तरीके से एलिमेंट्स डिलीट होंगे. सो इंसर्शन के केस में अगर रियर n-1 पे आके वापस इट इज गोइंग टू 0, सिमिलरली फ्रंट भी लास्ट पोजीशन पे आके इट विल गो टू द 0. करेक्ट? सो लेट्स लुक एट द इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ सर्कुलर DQ. सर्कुलर DQ के केस में वी वांट टू डिलीट द एलिमेंट. For example, rear is pointing to here, front is pointing here. This is something like B, C, D, E, और उसके बाद next element F is inserted here. So that's why rear is pointing to the newly inserted element. This is the scenario. So जब आपको एलिमेंट को डिलीट करना है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू नीड टू चेक इफ द क्यू इज एम्प्टी और नॉट. तो एम्प्टी के लिए बहुत ज्यादा कंडीशंस नहीं है. एम्प्टी क्यू को कैसे रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं? सिंपली बाय -1. सो इफ फ्रंट इज इक्वल टू -1, दिस मीन्स दैट क्यू इज एम्प्टी एंड इट विल एग्जिट फ्रॉम द फंक्शन. अदरवाइज कॉपी द एलिमेंट एंड डिलीट. If front and rear both are pointing to the same position, front and rear both are pointing to the same position means what? Okay, let's cover other cases first. For example, I am making a call to DQ function. First time I made a call to DQ function. So it will delete the element B. So it will copy the element whatever is present at Q of F. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this scenario, rear is equal to 0 and front is equal to 1. So Q of 1 pe whatever value is there, it will be stored in Y, and after that you need to match the case. So front is equal to n-1 nahi hai. Simply in this case you will be incrementing the value of front because you have deleted this element. Next element to be deleted is stored at the position 2. Once this element is deleted, then the front will be pointing to 3. Next कौन सा element delete होगा? That position is stored in the variable f. Next D is deleted. Next element कौन सा delete होगा? That is 4. So front will be containing the value 4. 4 वाली value को आपने y में copy किया. This element is deleted. Now front plus plus करोगे? नहीं. Front plus plus किया. तो in this case what will happen? This will be pointing to 5. 5 is invalid position. So 4 के बाद it must go to 0. So front and rear both are pointing to 0. Front and rear both are pointing to 0. तो ये आपने 0 कब किया? When front is pointing to n-1 in that case you need to n minus 1 के बाद front की value क्या होगी 0. So if front is equal to n minus 1, then the front will be updated to 0. This is a case of circular. बाकी दोनों cases आपके पास linear में आएंगे. This is the additional case which is included in the circular DQ operations. And if front and rear both are pointing to the same position, this means that there is only one element and I'm deleting this element. Front is equal to rear. यहाँ पे position कुछ भी हो सकती है. It can be, both can be pointing to the position 0, both can be pointing to the position 1, both can be pointing to the position 2 and so on. So if both are pointing to the same position, front is equal to rear. And obviously value is non-negative. अगर value non-negative है, only then it is coming to the else case. Front is equal to rear is equal to minus 1 is not possible here. So this means that only one element is there. If only one element is there in the queue and you are deleting that element, एक ही element था उसको भी delete कर दिया, then in that case your queue is empty. If Q is empty, empty Q is represented with minus 1. Then in that scenario, we need to update the value of both the front and the rear variable. Front and rear both are pointing to minus 1 now. This case is clear. Normal cases may, if rear is pointing to, front is pointing to n minus 1, then it will be pointing to 0. If only one element is there, both will be updated. Otherwise, in every case, we have to increment the value of front variable. Is this clear? So in order to delete an element from the queue, this is going to take constant time. So insertion and deletion, insertion कहाँ पे होगी? Just at the position where a rear is pointing to, and front is giving you the position from where you have to delete the element. So insertion and deletion both are taking constant time. And this is the correct implementation. All right. So बच्चे change सिर्फ code में इतना ही है. Rest everything is same. If you understand, if you'll try to understand this code, you'll find it very easy. जहाँ पे भी प्रॉब्लम आए, आपके पास एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. दे मे गिव यू सम कोड एंड आस्क यू टू परफॉर्म सम ऑपरेशन. पूरा कोड लिखने के लिए नहीं देंगे. दे विल गिव यू सम ब्लैंक्स एंड यू हैव टू फिल अप दोज ब्लैंक्स. सो व्हाट इज द इजीएस्ट अप्रोच? चाहे लिंक लिस्ट के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ रहा है या फिर क्यू के ऊपर आ रहा है, किसी के ऊपर आ रहा है, पिक्टोरियल रिप्रेजेंटेशन इज द बेस्ट फॉर्म. एक पिक्चर ड्रॉ करो, वट एवर इज गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन, कंसिडर ऑल द केसेस, ट्राई टू इम्प्लीमेंट दोज ऑपरेशंस एंड सी what variables are changed. All right. So this is about circular queue, insertion and deletion. Is this clear to everyone? Okay. So we have talked about queue, in which we had performed the enqueue operation, that is inserted an element, deleted an element. We had displayed the elements of the queue. After that we had discussed the drawback. Linear queue के case में what is the problem? Problem is sometimes there are empty slots available in the queue, but still it is giving an error message that queue is full. So in order to overcome that drawback, we are going for the concept of circular queue. Circular queue. In the circular queue also we had looked at the condition. Tomorrow I'll be taking previous year questions on queues. So whatever concepts we have covered, just revise those concepts, try to attempt previous year questions, and then we will be solving the previous year questions. So circular queue के case में we had done the implementation of NQ. Let me write this as circular NQ and circular DQ. Yes? So just focus on the conditions. Full के लिए condition क्या है, empty के लिए condition क्या है. On the basis of conditions you can get a question. On the basis of time complexity you may face a question. On the basis of the code you may face a question, and so on. Schedule for upcoming sessions. Schedule is same guys. As you know that daily we are having a session on YouTube at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. in which we are covering the concepts of data structures. Tomorrow we will be having a session on previous year questions on queues. I know that stacks के ऊपर कुछ questions pending है. After previous year questions on queues, the session will be on 20th of November. Pending questions from stacks will be covered on 21st. Previous year questions on stacks, that will be part 2. Part 1 आप प्रेफर कर सकते हो जिसमें recent questions आ चुके. Ma'am, when will you taking graph or heap class? Let me discuss that. So with this, stack and queue will get over. Then I'll be taking the session on structures and union because we have to use the concept of structures in the linked list. So first of all, we will understand the concept of structure. Then we will be having the sessions on linked list, followed by trees. ट्रीज जब हम डिस्कस करेंगे बच्चे, इसी में मैं हीप ट्रीज का कॉन्सेप्ट भी कवर करवाऊंगी. वी विल बी कवरिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ बाइनरी ट्रीज, बाइनरी सर्च ट्रीज, heap trees, AVL trees. So these will be covered under trees, and after that I'll be taking the sessions on graphs in which we will be covering the graph traversals, BFT and DFT. Although if you have the plus subscription or you are planning to get that, then you can refer to these sessions. Heap tree or BFT, DFT के जो concepts है, I had covered these concepts in the complete course on algorithms. So you can refer to that. On YouTube or on Unacademy. This is the schedule for YouTube sessions. And for special classes, today I had started with the concepts of computer organization and architecture. Timing is 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Today we had a very basic session, but one of the topic is very, very important. So today we had talked about the memory configuration in which we had talked about Indianist mechanism. So you can refer to that. That will help you a lot. And apart from that, if you want to follow the sessions on operating system, बच्चे operating systems के sessions आपको YouTube पे मिल जाएंगे. Algorithms I have covered on the plus YouTube. And plus December के first week से I'll be starting with the quizzes. So prepare the topics जो भी subjects हम cover कर चुके. So just revise those subjects because from December say we will be starting with the quizzes. So we will conduct practice sessions so that कि आपकी revision parallelly होते रहे. Digital sessions are available on YouTube. Data structures or programming के if you want more questions, more practice questions and you want to cover topics in much more detail, then you can refer to the special classes. So special classes में बच्चे आपको recorded sessions मिल जाएंगे. And yes, there is one note. Tomorrow we won't be having a special class. Tomorrow we will be just having a YouTube session. No special classes there. Alright. So digital concepts are covered, operating system is covered, algorithms is covered, data structures and programming is covered, COA is going on. So these are the topics I have covered. So you can follow my sessions on the plus, YouTube and special. बच्चे तीनों platforms पे आपको sessions मिल जाएंगे. So just go through it once and revise your topics so that कि आप quizzes के लिए prepare हो जाओ and you'll be able to get good score. जितना अच्छा score करोगे, definitely it will boost up your confidence level. Any other query? Schedule is clear? Yes, I'll be solving the previous year questions on TOC also. Yes, TOC concepts. I'm so sorry to mention that TOC and compiler design sessions are available on the special. So in order to follow the special classes, you can follow my Unacademy profile link that is given in the description box. So there you'll be finding special पे बच्चे आपको TOC, compiler design, data structures and programming के sessions मिल जाएंगे. Okay? Let's discuss the मूल mantra for success. We know that only key for success is the practice. So whatever factors are required, whatever important factors are there in the success, so these are based on the practice. We know that today it is the age of competition And all the competitive exams are based on speed, accuracy, and logic, which requires constant practice from the very beginning. And moreover, this is the high time. So start your revision, start solving the questions, start attempting quizzes, test series. This will help you a lot. प्रैक्टिस से बच्चे जहाँ पे भी आप सिली मिस्टेक्स कर रहे हो, जो भी आपका वीक एरिया है, सारे पॉइंट्स आपके सामने आ जाएंगे एंड यू विल गेट अ डायरेक्शन. एंड इफ you are unable to do so, in that case you can refer to the subscriptions. So we have two types of subscriptions, one is plus and other one is iconic. So you can get the help from the personal coach and you'll be getting the study material in iconic subscription. And don't forget to apply the referral code in order to get 10% discount and to join my group. So by joining my group, you'll be getting the guidance from me and you can directly interact with me. And if you are watching this session for the first time, you can join our Telegram group, that is Let's Crack Gate CSE. By joining this group, you will be getting the links of all the upcoming live sessions. Link of this group is given in the description box, so you can join this group. And definitely if you like this session, click on the like button, subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon for the notifications of new videos. And in case if you have any doubt, any query, write in the comment section. And in case of any feedback or suggestion or you want more guidance, then feel free to fill out the feedback form. Link of the feedback form is given in the description box. And बच्चे जो भी subjects है, majority subjects I have covered. So sessions are either available on the YouTube or special or plus. So you can just refer to that, explore. Otherwise you can ask during the session कि आप कौन से subject के sessions को search करना चाहते हो. I'll help you out. Okay. So thank you guys. This is all for this session and tomorrow we are not having a special class. So I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. in the YouTube session in which we will be covering the previous year questions based on Qs. Thank you.